YouTube Famari. It's Nature Boy 3000. What's up? It's been a while. Haven't posted a video in quite some time, but I definitely feel like this is long overdue. And it's something that is a work in progress, as you know, discipline helps me out and I start to get zeroed in on my practices once again and the things that help me feel great and centered. I'm starting to realize that I do enjoy creating. I do like getting in front of the camera and just speaking my mind, especially when there's a lot of other similar like-minded people to myself who enjoy the type of content that we like to talk about on this channel. So without further ado, I'd love to talk about the quieting of the mind and the importance of talking about trauma, I would say, and just things that hold you back from being your full potential. Because, you know, what else is there aside from us getting down to the roots of our consciousness and why we are the way we are? Why do we behave and do things and say things that are limiting and things that, you know we should be doing, but we're not doing? I would venture to say that a lot of that is just the getting away from sitting still. A lot of this has to do with just being okay with doing nothing. Once you just sit still and you get present and you just enjoy the moment that's around you and you just let things unfold, that's how you really start to understand where you're at in terms of what do I still need to let go? What do I still need to work through? You know, in life, there is this element to life where, you know, there's an element of suffering with whatever you do. And us being all individuals, we all have accumulated and experienced different things. And some people have experienced a lot of suffering. Some people have experienced, you know, very little, which affects our energy and the way we come across in our vibration. And this channel is really all about raising those vibrations and raising your overall energy so that you are just a charismatic, just vibrant person. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for myself. That's what I want to see more of in this world. And that's why there's a calling to make this channel, is we just want to see people better, people sharper, people more focused, people dialed in, people not distracted by what's going on in the news, people just being shaken up and stirred up by any little thing that falls into their lap that's a problem. It's just like, come on. You know, there's a time to be an adult. There's a time to grow up. There's a time to say, okay, now I'm going to take responsibility for my life and I'm going to get shit done. You know, I'm going to start doing my own programming. And it all starts with the root cause of your trauma. So the main thing for that is to sit still, like I said. And in other words, it's meditation. And what's going to happen when you sit still and you meditate is you're not trying to get any type of outcome or any type of thing to happen. You're not chasing anything. You're not. All that you are doing is sitting still and observing. You watch things come and you watch things go. That's all it is. How I personally like to see meditation is I see it as, let's say you had an inbox full of emails. Just full, freaking stacked. How would you be able to find anything in that inbox? I mean, yeah, sure, the newest ones will be at the top, but if you had to backtrack and go to the maybe important files or something, you're unorganized, you're hasty in your organization, and nothing is there. So that's the importance of sitting still with yourself, is you begin to slowly look at each email, look at each thought, and you release it. You look at it, and it's like, okay, do I need this? No. You let it go. You observe it. You don't judge. You just simply look at it, comes and it goes. And it's the nature of how this all works. So just meditate. Sit still. Be perfectly fine sitting still. There should be no hesitation to being alone with yourself. That's another thing. people struggle to be alone. Why do you think that is? People don't want to be alone with themselves because, for once, they're going to have to look at all those traumas, all those things that they've been running away from. People's tendencies when it comes to pain or traumatic events, people refuse to look at those things because they don't want to work on them, they don't want to process them, they don't want to relive those things. Which I get it, it's understandable. They're negative emotions. Oftentimes people run away from negative emotions. Even though they're entirely human and natural and normal, people would prefer to feel happy. But the paradox is, once you feel these emotions and these things that, are presumably negative, and you work through them and you release them, all of a sudden, you're going to be so much more happier than you thought you would have been holding on to all that poison in your body. That's basically what it is. Really, it's just a self-limitation. Try to go through your day smiling and having a blast when you have this brick or this lump in your throat, or your chest is all tightened up because maybe you experienced a recent heartbreak or a recent disappointment that you haven't worked through. Right? It could be anything like that. You feel it in your body, and it's hard to be free, to be loving, to be grateful, to be in the moment when you're harboring all those emotional, basically baggage. You need to let that go. So there's a lot that goes into it. Definitely. But it's important work. Never sleep on it. Definitely go there first. Always check in. How am I feeling? Where can I improve my energy? Why do I feel not as complete and whole in this moment? Right? What are those blocks limiting you? And oftentimes they are those emotional hangups that you need to release and let go of. So you sit still with that, you meditate, basically freeing up. I also view it as like bandwidth in the computer. When you have the computer that's just very slow and sluggish, it's a nightmare to be using that computer. You don't want to even you can't watch a video on there. You can't do anything. But the second you meditate or you just sit still and you kind of detox the dopamine that's constantly being flooded by using your phone, by social media, video games, could be porn, whatever you're using to distract yourself, you eliminate that, you're going to get back to the basics of how you should feel, the natural way you should feel, right? And that's basically all it is. You're just getting back to the roots of what it is that you are when you eliminate all the unnecessary things. So I invite you to maybe sit in your room, to go for a walk alone, no distractions. I wouldn't even put music on, just you and your thoughts. Face all of those demons. Face all of those things holding you back. It's time. The time is now. Quit putting it off. Quit saying I'm okay. People ask you, how are you doing? I'm good. No, you're not good. You're not good. You and I both know that you're not doing good. If your response is just good, then you're probably not doing good. If your response is, I'm doing fucking amazing, how are you doing, right? Like, you just feel the energy coming from that person, like that they're, okay, this person is just like in abundance. This person is just, they have their shit handled. They're having a good life. They're living a great life. Then yeah, then you're probably doing great. But oftentimes, people have a lot of work to do. I rarely see that in people's eyes lighting up like that. I rarely see calmness, assuredness, confidence, self-love, right? And this is where it starts. It starts with the daily practice of sitting still, aka meditation, every single day. Maybe do it in the morning, at night, whatever works for you. And what this is going to do is it's going to give you clarity, and it's going to show you where you're weak, where you need to improve, and what still needs fixing in your mental, spiritual, and emotional, physical, everything. It's a great starting point. The one thing I will leave you with is this saying: You don't know what meditation is doing for you until you stop doing it. I don't know where I heard that from. Once I heard it, I never forgot it. And if you don't believe me, kick up a very, very consistent meditation practice. And if you naturally fall off, or if you just stop meditating for, like, let's say a week, pay attention to your mental. Pay attention to, how you feel. And then you'll know what I mean. The second you stop with these practices of just meditating, life will slowly start to unravel. And that element of control that you have when you show up as a man and you're centered won't be as strong. So that's all I say that meditation is. It's a great tool for clarity. It's a great tool to create some grounding. And I invite you to do it every day. That's what I do. And it's been working absolute wonders for me as I progress in the rest of my practices, which I will continue to share as well. Yeah, I mean, I'll make more little posts of meditation in the future, but this will be just a quick video. If you're interested in this type of content and these types of messages, and you resonate with what I talk about, and you want to find like-minded people like yourself who are just trying to create, hey, like this video, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos. All right, peace.